learning to read tarot can be really challenging. There's a lot of information out there on the internet, and it can be really daunting. I'm going to show you how I am learning more about the major and minor arcana with my bullet journal. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Erin. I like to help people in recovery from an eating disorder to use creativity to heal themselves. If you've been following along with all the videos, then you know last week I released a video that showed how I have set up a bullet journal from scratch, completely custom, so that I can study tarot and understand tarot more deeply and reduce some of the overwhelm that I was experiencing in trying to gather all of the information from all of the places on the internet. Today, I'm going to show you my spreads for the major and minor arcana. I'm going to walk you through step by step how I set up the pages for studying the each individual card. So let's just jump right in. Here's what I'll be using to create each page for my minor arcana study. The major arcana study is virtually the same to the minor, but I'll put them both in here for you to have a look. I'm using a midliner just to add a little bit of color. The background of the cards that I'm using to study, which is Biddy Tarot's deck, has got a purple. It doesn't look very purple on the screen here, but it does have a purple background, so I'm using purple highlighter on part of each page just to add a little bit of color. I'm also using a metallic gold Uniball pen. I'm using a Pentel Hybrid Technica, it's called. I love this because it is a gel ink, but the gel dries really fast and it comes out, it's got a super fine tip, so it's not like your standard gel tip. This one, for example, is a gel tip, but it's got quite a wide tip, and this one's really fine. So I'll use this one for most of the writing. I've got a Sharpie. I wouldn't advise you use a Sharpie if you're using a thinner paper in your journal, but I'm using a 96 pound paper, I believe it is, so it can withstand the Sharpie. I'm also using a little tiny, super thin metallic gold washi tape, and to cut that I'll use my scissors. I've got a tape runner to adhere my card to each page, and now I'm going to show you what the pages will look like. So this is one that's already finished, where I've had an in-depth read through the meanings behind the High Priestess card. I've made notes based on what I've read, and then today I'm going to take a fresh page. So I've got a whole bunch of empty pages in the back of my journal. I'm going to take out a fresh page to work on. That is the beauty of the disc binding system. You can just pop them out and they pop back in just as easily. So I'm going to work on this page here. First thing I'll have to do is... Okay, so to get started, I am going to cut out the card that I'll be studying today. And this one is a minor arcana card. As I mentioned, this is the King of Wands. So just put some adhesive on the back and put it in the corner on an angle. And then I'm just going to write in the name of the card at the top. I'm going to use some of this metallic washi tape instead of an underline with a pen. The first thing that I'm going to do, take a look at, is the keywords. And these keywords I got off of Biddy Tarot's website. They're just some major themes of the card that you can kind of refer to at a glance when you're doing a reading. Once you start to learn the cards a little bit better, these keywords are just there to kind of give you a quick way to get the general theme of the card, so you can think about how it is playing a part in your life right now. You can see there's an upright and reversed keywords because the cards do have different meanings depending upon whether they show up in your reading upright or upside down. So I'm writing here a description of the card, so what I actually see on the card. And then once I get that finished, I'm putting a new heading there for the upright meaning. And so now I'm going to get into trying to learn more in depth what the card actually means to me when it's found in an upright position in the reading. Next, I do a deeper meaning of the card when it's reversed. And once I get my notes all written out for that, I'm done. That's it for the Minor Arcana card. And these pages just snap right back into this disc binding system, which is the reason that I love it so much. So now we're moving on to the Major Arcana cards. And again, I'm going to cut out a picture of the card itself and use that tape runner to stick it down onto the page. And put the Major Arcana cards on the opposite side of the page because I find that once you have a bunch of similar sized things glued to the exact same side of every page, it starts to kind of make your journal lopsided. So I'm alternating between the left and the right hand side depending upon whether it's a Major or Minor Arcana card. So there's those keywords again. And just for fun, I switched up the layout of the keywords at the top of the page. And on these Major Arcana cards, I, of course, can't do much of anything without doing some hand lettering. So I left a little bit of space on the right-hand side of the page here to hand letter the card name. The number that you see at the top there is the number that's associated with the card. And as I mentioned in my last video, I still don't quite know what the numbers are for, but I'm sure I will once I get studying the cards more deeply. So with all that done, I go on to writing out a description of what I actually see in the card. Once that's done, I go ahead and put the heading for what the card means when it's in an upright position in a reading. And I can write out that meaning here. It'll carry over to the next side of the page. With that done, I can move on to the reversed meaning. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got a couple of really great ideas from this video. And if you have any questions at all, please do put them down below in the comments and I will do my very best to answer them. Take care, stay safe, and be well, friend. Bye!